What's up, guys? Alfie here with some tips for Seal. Recording this after the run because it's too much concentration to do the run. And first of all, the team composition wise, you're gonna want a couple move speed buffers like Bernard or Remy, as many dot types as you can get. So Seal is really good. She does two different dots. Grego is good if you have him because poisoned isn't too common. Orbeez can use Fire Staff for burn, or I believe Dark Staff for poison, while Cleaves can use Wind Staff for electric shock, or fire weapon for bleed. Kinas have electric shock and burn. And you kind of want to choose your weapon based on what people have. A lot of people are running a Cottomere, so electric shock is pretty common. So on Cleef, I would recommend probably going a fire staff unless people's Cottomeres start to die off. It Windstaff Cleef actually has pretty good chance of soloing towards the end if you are good with the mechanics. And the main thing you're going to watch out for is these different AoEs. So he always starts off with that two kind of like cone attacks that actually lets you get in. The first part of the raid's actually pretty easy. You don't have to watch out for too much. He'll just do the two kind of cones and then the one cone attack and the charge. And you just gotta stay out of there. But you also kind of want to stay close to the red line because you never know uh, if you're gonna have to run back in. So it matters more in the second phase of fight. Like this one, if you run too far to one side, you will end up eating the second hit. So this is where the move speed buff really helps to avoid all these attacks. If it's your first run, don't be afraid to reset if you die, and it'll probably take a few runs before you really get the hang of the animations. I was dying all of last week. This week I kind of got it down a little bit better, and you're gonna have to kind of make decisions on whether you want to run out of the circle or run towards him. Uh, as long as you have 10 level 10 dots on him, you don't really need to be attacking him. Right? He only takes damage from dots, so don't be afraid to just run out and wait out the spam of attacks. Then this second phase, when you start sleeping, is when you really have to pay attention because every now and then when he leaps, he will do a cone attack on outside of it. So you want to be as close to the point where he's leaping and then run in. If you're not close enough, it's better to just try to run out, but be careful. The area is pretty big. There were a couple times where he caught me with it, and then he just jumped on top of me and it killed my team. The next thing is the suicide bombers. The suicide bombers you want to kill if they're in the area you're in. You can kind of ignore them if they're far away, but you have to kind of make the decision of whether you're going to destroy the suicide bomber or just get out of the area. There's usually a gap where you can kind of hang out in. Even when he's in this corner, there's usually an area for you to be safe. Just gotta get used to the patterns. When he does that purple field, I believe you don't take any damage from the suicide bombers even if they explode, but I'm not 100% sure. And then that kind of rectangular attack he does will go out in a wave and it'll knock you down, and that kind of leaves you open for him to jump on you. So you gotta really be careful with that one because it moves forward. It's not just that little rectangle. You have to either be behind it or get away. Then the guard soldier right here, you have to kill it fast. I've been swapping to Theo during this phase just to speed it up and make it a little bit safer because if you don't kill it, it's an instant wipe. And then after you do it, he'll go back into the leapy phase. I've been calling him Bugs Bunny with how much he leaps. Having a reviver to revive your team so Vanessa or Tion, but having them not on the team, so in standby, it is pretty good so that you can kind of reset out if he kills most of your team.
Oh, you're like
Um,
fully dead?
since I have two, I have Tion on my
Yeah,
main
I got
team,
it in this.
so I can use him for healing and reviving if only part of the team dies. But if you only have Tion or you only have Vanessa, any healer works for this. And if
Okay,
you
how?
get really good with the mechanics, you don't really need a healer that often.
Shokin.
Other people's Tions and
Oh, he's not
healers
gonna
can
fall.
keep you healed up.
Dude was just standing there.
That's pretty much it for the fight. You just gotta kind of watch out. Depending on how fast you clear it, there will be a second giant soldier. If you ever wipe and revive from the arc, then you can actually go back and kill the original arc during the second phase, and it'll take less time since it's already halfway dead, and it'll still give you the shield. Doesn't matter which one you kill. So keep that in mind if you're
Oh shit.
struggling at with killing the arc.
Get the move speed buff up.
I definitely recommend doing this with friends on a voice call. It makes it a lot easier, especially since you can call out the attacks for each other. For example, we call out semicircle for the those half and half. Either one works, but uh, for those two-sided attacks, and then when he jumps, we call it out. And the wave is another good one to call out because of how badly it can kind of mess you up.
Bomb.
Then being able to talk to each other and decide whether who's going to go after the suicide bomber or
Yeah, he's gonna catch me.
if you're not going to bother with it. And then also talking about revives
I'm probably gonna die here.
makes it pretty good because you might be close to one bar or at one bar and the people alive can do it, or you might need to revive,
Yeah.
and that's where being on voice call really helps.
Copy.
You can communicate and tell each other whether you need someone to revive or if we can wait out the timer and see what the situation is like. That's another thing is don't be afraid to just wait out the timer. You got plenty of time. Definitely don't revive into a AoE attack. And
Okay. Well, we don't
that's
have
pretty
frostbite, so I'm just
much
gonna
all the tips
kill
I
Sarah
got
anyways.
for Seal. Definitely something you want to do with a consistent group.
I'm gonna
And
teleport
don't be
down.
if you're doing it in a public, don't be afraid
Wait.
to kick people or
Where's the?
ask people if they're switching inside because some people do just put up a power team, but they do know to switch to the proper team inside of the dungeon. But other people don't, and they will just try to run it with their normal damage team, and that can really ruin a run.
Yeah, it's about to be.
As far as monsters I would recommend building for this, other than Remy and Bernard, would be Sarah because Frostbite isn't very common. Seal,
Yeah.
Dark Imp is pretty good for Bleed. Bleed is very much not common
Yeah.
unless you got a Fire Cleave in there.
Where is it?
You
Yeah,
probably
it's right
won't
on
see
this
any
side.
bleeds. Um, that's pretty much it. Hope this video helps. And if it does, subscribe, leave a like. Thank you for watching.
All right. Bomb. Oh shit. Yeah. I got nuked.
By myself. I'm probably gonna die in this bomb.
I'm gonna revive once he throws a half circle.
You guys got this, right?
Yeah, I think we got it. Oh yeah, we definitely got it.
I'll wait the timer. I got like.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We got it for sure. Yeah. I'm just gonna stay soul link to Sarah now.
I got it. Holy shit! How did you even do that? You fucking burned him to death. You
Oh shit! Oh shit!
single-handedly,
Oh shit!
without any units, just your Orbia, you burned him to death.
Wait, someone got 100.
Yeah,
Someone rolled a 100. They got the weapon.
I need to swap to.
Holy fuck that weapon!
Wait, let's see. Hold on.
No, we got it. We got it. It's I can solo it from here.
Holy! They actually got perfect.
Ooh.
I mean, doesn't matter. You still
Doesn't
have
matter.
to
You just
upgrade it.
upgraded it.
All right.
Like literally all you want is the base.
Wait, look at that necklace. Jesus.
I finally got a roll that wasn't.
I got a 97. Holy shit.
Nice.
You